First of all, I want to thank the organizer for giving me the opportunity to present my work. So today, I will talk about how antiretroviral resistance mutation can impact the activation of innate immune system. So last year, we have previously shown that HMV-1 infection lead to the activation of NLRP3 inflammasome. More specifically, we demonstrated that the cell infected with the HAV reverse transcriptase M184V mutation induced a stronger activation of the inflammasome compared to the wild-type viruses. So the aim of this new study was to assess if this activation of inflammasome can also occur with other resistant mutations. So we selected 3 integrase inhibitor resistance mutations, so the double mutant J140S Q148H, the N155H, and the R263K. And we also selected 4 lenacapavir capsid inhibitor resistance mutations, the M60I, the Q6H, and the K70R and the K70H. So I'm apologize for those who were here last year. It's going to be maybe a little bit repetitive, but I want to reintroduce what are inflammasomes and the method that we use to measure this activation. So inflammasomes are known as a major part of the innate immune system and are considered a first line of defense against pathogens. So they are multi-protein complex composed of 3 main proteins. So the first one, it's called receptor or sensor. So they allow the recognition of dangerous and pathogenous molecules. So here, for example, we have a sensor of the NLRP family called NLRP3. So it's important to know that inflammasomes are named based on the sensor. So here, it's a representation of the NLRP3 inflammasome. The second protein involved in this complex, it's called adaptor. So each role is to bind the first protein, so the receptor, with the third one called the effector. So this binding will allow the activation of the effector, which is the procaspase-1. So to obtain this formation of this complex, we require 2 signal activation. So a first one that we call priming, which allows the transcriptional upregulation of the protein involved in the inflammation, and the activation, the second signal, which allows the formation of the complex and the activation of the caspase-1. This activation will lead to the secretion of 2 major cytokines, the interleukin-1 beta and interleukin-18, and will lead to the death of the cell by pyroptosis. So in the literature, it has been well known that HMV-1 infection leads to the activation of the inflammasome, and more specifically to the NLRP3 inflammasome. There are benefic and negative effects of this inflammasome in the HMV-1 infection. Indeed, it has been observed that interleukin-1 beta and interleukin-18 can inhibit the HMV-1 replication in PBMC, but also it has been demonstrated that the activation of the inflammasome can lead to the death of the infected cell, but also to the bystander cells during an HMV-1 infection. So in order to assess the impact of the antiretroviral resistance mutation on the inflammasome activation, we use the THP1 cells as a study model. So this monocyte-like cell, well studied and characterized in the inflammasome study, can be differentiated in macrophages by a PMA treatment during 24 hours. In parallel, we produce several viruses, so the wild-type form without antiretroviral resistance mutation, and the mutant carrying the targeted mutation. So we use it with seed-directed mutagenesis in PNL43 plasmid. However, it has been observed that THP1 cells, when they are differentiated in macrophages, became poorly susceptible to HMV infection. So we realized a model of co-culture based on the Galloway study, which has demonstrated that activation of inflammation can also occur in cells not susceptible to infection, but simply through a direct contact with infected cells. So to do that, we have made 2 models of co-culture. So one for a negative control. Donc, this is uninfected macrophages and uninfected monocytes together. And the other model is uninfected macrophages, but this time co-culture with infected monocytes, so with wild-type or mutated virus. After 24 hours of co-culture, we measure the secretion of the two major cytokines of the inflammasome, interleukin 1 beta and interleukin 18. So here, this is the result. So you can see here in black, this is our positive control. So this is uninfected cells, but we added a specific activator of NLRP3 inflammasome, which lead to the secretion of interleukin 1 beta to the left and interleukin 18 to the right. In white, this is of negative control. So this is the basal expression and secretion of the two cytokines. And first, what we observe in color, it's like all the co-culture with infected HEV1 cells have a secretion increase for the two cytokines. More specifically, we observe that the wild type cells infected with the wild type viruses seems to secrete more interleukin 1 beta and interleukin 18 compared, for example, to the integrase mutant virus. And we have the same phenomenon for the cell infected with lenacapavir capsid resistance mutation, except for the mutation K70R, which seem to have the same profile of secretions as the wild type. In a second step, we want to know if the secretion that we observed was specifically due to the NLRP3 inflammasome. So to do that, we do the same experiment, but this time we added in our co-culture a specific inhibitor of the NLRP3 called the MCC950. So here in black, on the positive control, you can see when we added the MCC, we have a strongly decrease of the secretion of the two cytokines. Well, we observe this same decrease for all our co-culture when we added the MCC. This result suggesting that the secretion of the two cytokines that we observed was mainly due to the NLRP3 inflammasome. So in conclusion, contrary at the results that we observed for the M184V mutation, which presented here in pink, red, a strong increase of the secretion of the interleukin 1 beta compared to the wild type, we observe that the cell infected with integrase or lenacapavir capsid resistance mutant do not seem to activate strongly the inflammasome. We have an exception for the K70R mutation, which exhibits the same level of secretions as the wild type, but interestingly, this mutation seems to not appear alone in clinical trial. So in conclusion, this result suggesting that in addition to the ability to induce resistance to antiretroviral, integrase and lenacapavir capsid inhibitor resistance mutation seems to be less recognized by the viruses seem to be less recognized by innate immune cells. So I would like to thank all the people in our lab and hospital, and would like to thank you for your attention.